They try to label Shedeur arrogant.
They
try to call him a diva. But you know who doesn't see it that way? The coolest, calmest, coldest quarterback in the NFL, Joe Burrow. Just 24 hours before their Week 18 showdown, the media tried to bait Burrow into criticizing Shedur's flashy lifestyle. Instead, Burrow gave him the ultimate cosign. He looked the reporters straight in the eye and said, "He is who he is. He is himself. That's exactly what you want in a quarterback." Burrow went even deeper. He directly credited Shedeur Sanders for building a quarterback who is completely bulletproof to the media. He called out the unfair pressure Shedeur faces, saying, "No fifth-round pick has ever dealt with this kind of microscope." I've got the full clip of Burrow exposing the media's double standard. The NFL doesn't promote videos that challenge the anti-Sanders agenda. So we need your support. Subscribe and hit the bell right now. Join us to hear why the best QB in the AFC North believes Shedeur is the truth. Click that button and let's see real. Recognize real. Here's exactly what Joe had to say. Forget the final score. Forget the losing records. A seismic shift just happened in the NFL, not on the field, but during a simple press conference when one of the league's most elite quarterbacks exposed a stunning truth about one of the most controversial young players. Joe Burrow, the man handed the keys to his franchise as the number 1 overall pick, just delivered a powerful coded message that should have the entire Cleveland Browns organization paying close attention. His comments weren't basic, respectful platitudes. They were an insider's unmasking of the unprecedented, almost conspiratorial scrutiny aimed at Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round pick being judged like a first overall savior. The timing says everything, coming at the end of a deeply disappointing season for both Ohio teams, creating a rare moment of raw, unfiltered honesty. Burrow was asked about his opponent, and his response revealed a harsh reality about the pressure, the bias, and the possible sabotage surrounding Sanders, a player who has consistently performed with the composure of a seasoned veteran. He didn't just praise a player. He validated a movement, signaling to the entire NFL that this rookie is the real deal, no matter what the front office might be pushing. And trust me, what he didn't say speaks even louder than the compliments he gave. The real story of Shedeur Sanders isn't about his draft position, but about the intense battle he's fighting from within his own organization, a conflict Joe Burrow just revealed to the world. The core of the revelation was a sentence Burrow delivered with the quiet authority of someone who understands the spotlight better than anyone. He acknowledged that Sanders' situation is unlike anything football has ever seen. The Cincinnati Star stated, and pay close attention to the specificity, that Sanders has absolutely been under more of a microscope than any other fifth-round pick in the history of football. Let that statement truly sink in. Burrow, a former number 1 overall pick, who faced Super Bowl expectations before even taking his first snap, is openly asserting that a fifth-round rookie is under more scrutiny than any other fifth-round pick in the league's century-long history. Fifth-round selections usually enjoy anonymity, a chance to develop slowly, away from relentless media scrutiny. They often spend years as clipboard holders or special teams players, allowed to fail, grow, and learn without constant headline dissection. Shedeur, however, has been denied that luxury. Thrust onto the main stage as if he were a top draft pick, he's treated simultaneously as a franchise cornerstone by fans and overlooked by critics, setting him up for an impossible fall. Burrow isn't just offering a nice quote. He's exposing a targeted, unfair campaign against a player who should have been allowed to develop quietly. This level of media attention is usually reserved for certified superstars. Yet it's aimed with laser focus at a rookie whose draft status implies developmental potential, not instant perfection. This revelation alone should have every sports analyst rethinking their narrative. The real impact, though, comes from who Burrow consulted before making this judgment. What makes his endorsement so powerful is that it comes from a peer who understands the craft at the absolute highest level. This isn't a coach or an analyst offering a generic opinion. It's one of the world's elite quarterbacks giving a professional assessment of another's game. Burrow immediately validated Sanders' abilities, noting that he enjoyed watching him in college, saw him make big plays, and most importantly, believed he could throw it. These aren't empty compliments. If Joe Burrow says a QB can throw it, signals genuine arm talent and observation, worth far more than hundreds of anonymous scouting reports. The admiration didn't stop there. Burrow praised Sanders' composure off the field, highlighting how he handles the spotlight, saying he seems to navigate it well and says the right things in the media. He's himself. Burrow emphasized the highest form of respect in the exclusive QB fraternity. Sanders' authenticity and poise under pressure impressed a rival franchise leader. This praise wasn't just about talent, it was about character, showing that Shedeur already operates with the maturity of a veteran, making his organization's handling of him even more questionable. It was a direct signal from one elite quarterback to another. We see you, and we know the truth. Burrow's remarks weren't made in isolation. The conversation grew more compelling when reporters asked if he had spoken with Joe Flacco, who spent significant time with Sanders in Cleveland before moving midseason to the Bengals. Burrow confirmed they had, saying, "You talk about a lot of players across the league. That's the kind of initial conversations you have with new guys in the locker room. Think about the implication. 2. Super Bowl winning, elite veteran QBs. One, the undisputed franchise leader. The other, who just left the Browns, were discussing a rookie in detail. Not a third-string benchwarmer, but a player whose talent and potential warranted a dedicated conversation between two of the game's highest IQ minds. When pressed for specifics, Burrow wisely kept it private, honoring the QB brotherhood code. Yet the fact that Flacco felt the need to share his first-hand observations with Burrow says it all. He witnessed how Sanders prepared, handled a controversial situation, and interacted with the coaching staff rumored to be lukewarm toward him, and came away convinced of Sanders' character and talent. This private exchange served as undeniable insider validation, confirming that the scrutiny isn't about performance, it's about something else entirely, rooted much deeper in organizational politics, and the ultimate source of that internal conflict points squarely to one place. The revelation of this struggle leads directly to the persistent rumors surrounding Kevin Stefanski. Burrow's praise of Sanders' maturity, especially in handling the media, casts a sharp spotlight on whispers that Stefanski may never have fully wanted the fifth-round pick. Insider reports circulating all season suggest Stefanski was not only hesitant to draft Sanders, but may have been compelled to select him by the owner. The controversy intensified with accusations, publicly denied, that the coaching staff's slow development of Sanders was an intentional effort to undermine his career. Picture the irony: a team desperately needing a franchise quarterback, with a rookie displaying real talent, allegedly having obstacles placed in his path because of ego conflicts or a preference for a less scrutinized prospect. Burrow's remarks about Sanders' poise and ability to handle the spotlight act as a subtle but direct rebuke of this scenario. He is essentially saying the player is conducting himself professionally despite an environment that may be actively hostile to his presence. This is the shocking truth that can no longer be ignored. Two of the NFL's most respected quarterbacks have confirmed that Shedeur is facing more than typical rookie growing pains. He is waging an internal war. The question remains, Why was the scrutiny so intense to begin with? The answer lies in the dramatic events of draft night. To grasp the unprecedented attention Burrow referenced, we need to rewind to the draft, an event that became a public spectacle of judgment. Sanders was projected as a potential top 5 pick, a franchise-altering talent, yet he fell all the way to the 5th round. This staggering drop fueled the blackball theories and created the original sin for which he continues to face scrutiny. Pundits and anonymous league sources circulated narratives that effectively sank his draft stock. Stories ranged from concerns over his physical abilities and claims that his throws lacked NFL-level velocity to more damning critiques regarding his character and maturity. Reports indicated that his pre-draft interviews were disastrous, portraying him as overconfident and underprepared, a persona many conservative NFL executives detest. Even more controversial was a report claiming Sanders blocked a potential selection by the Baltimore Ravens, reportedly unwilling to sit behind an established superstar like Lamar Jackson. This decision, intended to secure him a spot where he could play faster, was immediately criticized by veterans and analysts like Alex Smith as short-sighted. This became the ultimate catalyst for the microscope. As some analysts suggested, the league wanted to send a clear message. You cannot dictate your terms to the NFL. By falling, Sanders inadvertently gave every critic and executive license to scrutinize his every move with a ferocity rarely seen. For a mid-round pick, he created the pressure cooker Burrow just highlighted. The discussion between Burrow and reporters wasn't only about Sanders. It became a masterclass in the unwritten rules of being an elite franchise quarterback. Burrow outlined his responsibilities in clear, powerful terms. Number 1, play at your best. Number 2, continue to improve. Number 3, act as the conduit between coaching staff, front office, and the locker room. In Burrow's view, a franchise QB is the bridge, the voice relaying players' sentiments to management. When evaluating Shedeur Sanders, publicly accused of having tension with his coach, this definition becomes a striking measure of his performance. Despite the rumors and alleged internal conflict, Sanders has consistently handled himself with the maturity of a true conduit. He has protected teammates, refused to throw anyone under the bus, and professionally deflected reporters' questions about alleged sabotage. Burrow is acknowledging that Sanders is already operating with franchise-level maturity, even without the organizational support, infrastructure, or respect typically afforded to a true franchise player. The contrast between the two paths is undeniable. Burrow entered an organization built around him as the number 1 pick. Sanders, a 5th rounder, is battling an organization that apparently didn't fully want him, yet he displays the exact same leadership qualities. This comparison makes the Browns' treatment of Sanders look even more unforgivable. Joe Burrow's comments served as the final, undeniable piece of evidence in an unfolding drama. He confirmed what insiders and the QB fraternity already knew. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a developing talent. He is a legitimate, mentally tough quarterback facing unprecedented challenges rooted in his team's politics and the league's reaction to his draft fall. Burrow's professional validation, backed by the insider knowledge of Joe Flacco, casts a glaring spotlight on the Cleveland Browns organization. The truth is clear. One of the NFL's best quarterbacks respects Sanders' game and approach, even as the team that drafted him is mired in rumors of internal conflict and a coach who allegedly preferred someone else. Denial is no longer an option. Shedeur Sanders is not only surviving but thriving under a microscope that would overwhelm almost any other rookie. He is forcing the organization to confront a harsh reality. They have a franchise-caliber player they treated like a 5th-round afterthought, and now he may have outgrown the structure built around him. The ultimate question is what happens next. When a player of Sanders' talent and character is publicly validated by elite peers, the team faces an ultimatum. Will the Browns finally acknowledge the staggering potential Burrow has highlighted and fully embrace him? Or will internal politics and whispered agendas push a generational talent out the door? The coming offseason isn't just about the draft. It's about a monumental decision between the coach who didn't want him and the quarterback the entire league now respects. Which side will win the war for Shedeur Sanders' future? Drop your thoughts on Burrow's explosive remarks and the truth about Sanders' scrutiny in the comments below. This story is far from over, and the shocking developments ahead are not to be missed.